Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the week of. This is for April 2025. You have this card. It says step out of your comfort zone. You also have this card that says a new start is coming. So we're at the end of the retrogrades this month. So whenever we get to the end of the retrogrades, we pretty much always have a new start. So it's kind of like an obvious message to me here, Scorpio, that there would be some sort of new start. We also have an eclipse right at the end of March on the 29th. And you have the Eight of Cups here. The Eight of Cups is the only card in the tarot that has an eclipse on it. So it really wouldn't surprise me if you are eclipsing something out of your life, or you're finally closing out a chapter or cycle and having a new start. So, there you go. I really don't know what else to say about that. I mean, this is probably something that you've been working on since before November, right? I would even go back to the summertime of 2024, like the end of the summer, right? And that's what's popping into my head. It's like you may have had an ending at that time. You might have left your job. You might have left a relationship. You might have left something. And so I would go back to that time. You're probably going to be, I wouldn't say revisiting it, but I feel like you are revisiting it in the sense that you're closing it out, completely. So even if you feel like you have closed something out, it's like you have, but there might just be some little things that you're kind of processing. But the thing about this is that this doesn't have to be anything I don't know how to say what I want to say right now, Scorpio, and I'm sorry, my allergies are super bad this year, so I'm a little bit loopy at the moment because I took a Benadryl last night, which was a big mistake. I cannot handle any medication at all. I take something, I'm out for days, right? But what I wanted to say here is it's almost like sometimes I think we can have something happen, like we go through a breakup, we go through getting a job loss, right? We kind of take it personally, we process it, and we get to a point where we have moved on, but then maybe we start noticing some behaviors that kind of remind us of that thing. Maybe we learned, maybe we were in a relationship where we were afraid to talk because the person always freaked out about everything we said, so we kind of trained ourselves not to. And then maybe in the future you're dealing with people and you don't talk, and you're like, why am I not talking? And you're thinking to yourself, oh, it was because of that situation that I went through, right? And I feel that's what I mean by closing things out. It's like maybe you're noticing a behavior, something that you used to do in a situation like a job, and it's like you're getting rid of it in a good way. And I feel it is very good for you that you're kind of getting rid of that behavior or whatever it is. You have the Ace of Cups, which can be your emotions overflowing. I really do feel this is, sure, it could be talking about love. There's a little bit of love here, but I kind of feel like this is you doing more of the things that you do love. I feel like it's you doing more things that you enjoy in your life. And so I feel really good about this Ace of Cups. I feel like you're kind of filling your cup more and taking care of yourself better. You have the Eight of Cups again. During eclipses, the Eight of Cups comes up nonstop in reading, so it doesn't really surprise me. But again, I think this is more of that. You're just finally closing out those behaviors or a behavior or something that you do because of a past situation. I feel like you're walking away. I also feel like some of you are gaining some confidence here. I don't know. I feel pretty good about this, Scorpio. I mean, you have the Strength card, the Page of Wands, and the Queen of Wands, and the Sun. After this card, it's like sometimes I think we leave something like a job, and maybe maybe we think to ourselves, I could do this. I could start my own business. I could, start my own whatever, right? And I kind of feel like you're getting the confidence to almost go your own way. Maybe that's a good way to put it, or to do your own thing. You have the Six of Cups. We are in a time of the inner child, I would say, and you have the Page of Wands as well. Page of Wands is very happy-go-lucky energy. He kind of he practices non-attachment outcome. He does things because he enjoys it, right? So he wouldn't start a business or a career or a new relationship and say, this has to go this way. He would start it and just say, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to see how it goes, and that's it. So I do think we are in a time where it would be a really good time for you, Scorpio, to kind of practice just, being childlike, being playful, being fun, seeing how things go, and, especially things that are important to you, which is really hard to do because, when we attach importance to something, then we make it so that we need it to go a certain way more. And I feel this is saying just enjoy the process and be willing to be playful with everything that you're working on, and that will make it go better. Yeah, with the Eight of Cups, you have the with the Ace of Cups, you have the Eight of Cups, is what I was saying. So whenever we have a repeating card in the tarot, it's basically the universe saying I meant what I said. I feel that some of you have had to walk away from something that you did enjoy in some ways. I kind of get that feeling of loss here in the sense that, it's really hard to walk away from something that you've invested a lot into. So, it's almost like that feeling of being zeroed out. We call it zeroed out. Like let's say you gave a business 20 years of your energy, like your job or career, and then you get fired. That hurts more because you gave it 20 years of your life, right? So you have this attachment to it. I'm not saying that's what happened here, but like a little bit, I feel that some of you really kind of gave something a lot of effort that you were maybe forced to walk away from in the recent past. Like I'm talking about since last summer, like we said at the beginning of the reading. And really, this is your journey back to fulfillment. But, I feel for a lot of you, it's kind of a deep reading, Scorpio, because it's like saying to me that it's like you did all those things. You are the one. It's like the value is you. It's like if you gave that relationship 20 years, it's like, sure, relationship or business or friendship that you had to walk away from. It's like you are the one that brought that value. So you can do it again somewhere else. And I kind of feel like that's where this reading is going. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Queen of Cups. Definitely could be love coming in for you. I think it's a really great time for love, especially when we get into May. But right now as well, even though we have Venus retrograde, again, I still think that like starting now-ish, today is March 21st. So starting, kind of now, I think it's a great time to meet people. Like I said in your last reading, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't rush right into something. I would take your time, but King and Queen of Cups are divine counterparts. Definitely could be another water sign. Could also be a fire sign. You always get fire with me, and we do have all this fire here. But take it how it resonates. Could be any sign, and it would be like a very stable person. With the Six of Cups, you have the Two of Swords. I would be really careful as a fixed sign of thinking that things should be a certain way. Part of me thinks with the Two of Swords that the challenge for fixed signs in particular is, and I have this problem too, and I'm a delusional Pisces, right? So I get it, but it's like sometimes I do something and I think to myself, if I take this action, this is definitely the result that I'm going to get. Never happens. I can maybe only think of like one project I've ever worked on where like how I started it was how it ended. Exactly how I thought, right? And so it's like it rarely works that way. So I think that just being more open, being more flexible, and not thinking like X equals Y or X plus Y equals whatever the hell, I don't know. I failed math. I don't know. But, whatever X plus Y equals Z maybe. I think that just being open and willing to see how things go is what the reading is saying, for sure. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Unworthy card. Yeah, this is a big, like I said, this makes sense with that Eight of Cups and that Ace of Cups. It says, do you genuinely believe in your worthiness to attain the abundance you desire? It's like, instead of thinking, I gave this thing so much time, and now I'm zeroed out, you need to think to yourself, like, I was the value. I was the thing that created all that value. I can do it again. There's something about that going on here. You have this leader card. It says, as a born leader, you can truly bring out the best in others by guiding them and inspiring them. I think that it's water signs' duty to be an inspiration right now. I think all water signs have been through what everybody else is about to go through. So it's kind of like water signs' job to be an inspiration, especially with that Pluto and Aquarius energy. Again, Chris's crappy astrology speaking right now. Pluto and Aquarius is all about being an inspiration to others. That basically means that you need to go and challenge yourself and do something hard. When you do something hard with your life and accomplish something, you inspire others to do it. I think if everybody did that, things would get a lot better. So, that's what I would do here. You have the Queen of Cups, the Strength card, and the Four Wands. Again, I always read her as you. I actually just found another person who reads Queen of Cups as you. I can't remember where that was. I think I was on a tarot forum or something. And a person was talking about why Queen of Cups represents Scorpio, not Cancer. Do I remember what they said? No. So, sorry. I'll try to find it. But anyway, Queen of Cups, I always have read her as you for whatever reason. So, whenever you show up as yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength. and allows you to get what you want from the reading. Both the King and Queen of Cups have great deep emotions, and they are both about following your emotions. As I always say, I think we are in a time where we really have to follow our heart right now, and so anything you can do to move closer to like that heart-based energy or what your heart is telling you to do, the better. You have the strength card. I feel that you have developed a lot of strength, and that's what you need to realize. Again, it's like whatever you're thinking, I don't know that you think that something was a waste of time. Maybe it's more of a disappointment feeling I have. I don't know. You'll have to tell me. But I think you need to realize like what you gained from that situation has taught you so much that could be very valuable if you used it for something else, right? Even if it's a relationship, right? You learned what to look out for. You learned what to avoid. And it probably wasn't all bad. I mean, even thinking back on my worst relationships, it's like even the worst one, it wasn't all bad. It's like I was in it for a reason, obviously. So there were good parts of it. And, when we focus on the good stuff, and we focus on what we want, we get it. So that's why I always tell people to stop telling the story of their ex. So like people love to tell me, my ex did this, my ex did that. I'm like, well, you talking about it is just going to make it happen again. So it's like you might as well only talk about the good things. And if you do that, then good things will come to you. And I think the strength card is saying that maybe you've been practicing doing that with the strength card, right? The strength card is a daily practice. This lion is submitting to her. The lion represents her inner voice or her inner critic, and she is getting it to submit to her. So she is the one that is in control of the words that she's using. Seems to be very important for you right now, Scorpio. You have the Four of Wands. Again, if you want love, if you want marriage, sure. Could be you meeting a person that you could marry. Could be you getting married just in general if you're already with a person. Again, Four of Wands can just represent a commitment. So you could be making a deeper commitment to a person or a new person in the future. It doesn't even have to be right now. The other thing about the Four of Wands is it's about setting yourself free. I really get this like uninhibited feeling off of the Page of Wands, and we go up to the Page of Wands from that Four of Wands. It's almost like this carefree energy that I get there. And I think I said this to you recently as well, because I'm pretty sure you had the Page of Wands with me recently, and I feel it would be really good for you to just practice that like uninhibited type of energy. I hope that makes sense. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Three of Swords. Yes, at the end of the retrogrades here, I think everybody should be forgiving the past. I don't know, very karmic time, that North Node in Pisces, plus all the two retrogrades going back into Pisces, Venus and Mercury. I just think it would be a great time for forgiveness, karmically, if that is a thing. I think karma-wise is the word I'm looking for. Just forgiving the past and moving on and closing out those cycles, I think would be a really good thing for people to do right now. And who knows how it will benefit you. You might not realize it until the future, but, I would do it. With the Strength card, you have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is about being spoiled for choice or dreaming, having a lot of options. Again, I think you have a lot of options, even if you did get zeroed out, like we were talking about earlier, or even if you feel like you missed out on something that you invested a lot of time in. I think now you have a lot of options in what direction you can take those skills that you developed, and I would definitely be thinking about it with that Strength card. With the Four of Wands, you have the Six of Swords. Yeah, this is like moving on to calmer shores or improvements. I feel like some of you could actually be improving a marriage. Like if you are in a marriage, you could be improving that connection. And again, that goes on. Like I think that people, a big problem with modern relationships is people speak negatively about their partner, which I think if you're going to be with a person, you probably shouldn't do that, right? Even if they are being a dummy, it doesn't matter, right? So I think that this could be improvements if you are in a connection or if you are in a marriage. You have the sun here, and the sun is the light. The sun is the light that you see in a person. And so like if you're trying to improve a relationship, it might be a good time to like remind yourself why you picked that person in the first place. And they probably should do the same thing as well. But maybe you both need to remind each other of that with this Six of Swords energy. But if you have been it's definitely popping to my head that if you have been going through choppy waters in a connection, that you could be fixing it or healing it. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have the support card and this releasing card. Yes, a lot of stuff about releasing in this reading. I think that releasing things from the past or releasing things that didn't work out, all that would be a good idea. The support card says you have a lot of support. You have a lot of people that want to help you or guide you or that can give you guidance. And so I would tap into that resource of people because it'll probably be very helpful. Next, you have the Queen of Swords, the Page of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. Queen of Swords is about seeing the future clearly for the first time. She only has clouds halfway up her body, and she has her hand up, but her sword up as well. It's like she's willing to receive anything that she wants into her life, but she's kind of like cautiously optimistic with that sword also standing. So I feel for a lot of you, this is actually really good because the Queen of Swords has her back to the past. So she is more focused on the future. You do have the Five of Cups here, but the Five of Cups is coming up in the good stuff. And so with the Queen of Swords, again, instead of focusing on the negative, this could say that you are focusing on what you have to be grateful for, which the Five of Cups is all about. So, I feel, again, it's definitely popping demand. Like, if you're in a relationship, it might just be a good time to be grateful for your partner. Obviously, if they are a bozo, leave. Obviously, like, every time I say this, someone's like, well, my partner beats me every single day. I'm like, leave. What are you doing? Why? Number one. But number two, obviously, if something bad is happening, leave. I feel like I shouldn't have to explain this, but apparently I do. Number two, obviously, if they're a good partner, but you're just like, maybe things haven't been great with the Six of Swords here, remembering why and focusing on the good stuff could fix things, plain and simple. You have the Page of Wands, probably your best energy here, I would say, my favorite card for you in this reading. I just think that, that practicing non-attachment, which I'm pretty sure I said to you recently, embracing that playful, happy-go-lucky vibe, I feel would be really beneficial for you with the Page of Wands. And also, like, being willing to start something and just see how it goes, just kind of being like, what, I'm just going to play around with this idea. I'm just going to be playful. I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm just going to enjoy it for the experience that it is, I feel would be great. You have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords, a lot of people read as lying, cheating, stealing, but again, I always say that it's not true. I mean, it is a little bit, but the Seven of Swords is a golden card. Golden cards in the tarot are meant to be positive no matter what. So if this was surrounded by, like, the Ten of Swords, the Magician, and the Devil, then sure, I would say lying, cheating, stealing, but it's not, and it's attached to the Sun, and the Queen of Wands, and the Page of Wands. The Seven of Swords is a card of tactics. He is stealing those swords from this army that's in the background of the card. So he's going to war, but in a better way. Instead of going to war, he's stealing the swords. Seven of Swords reminds us to do things in a different way. It just says that, we all come up with ideas on how we're going to accomplish something. But if we stay open, stay flexible, and are just, like, willing to learn, we might discover better ways of doing things, and that's what I would do with the Seven of Swords. Here you go. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Ten of Cups. Yeah, really good. I mean, fortune after difficulty. I like this reading. For some reason, it popped into my head. I almost never talk about, other relationships or being in one already. And I'm telling you right now, if you are in a relationship, there could be great improvements in it. Maybe things aren't even going bad, but, improvement is an improvement. So even if things are going great in your connection, this could say that things are going better. The other thing is that, again, looking on the bright side clearly is a solution for you in this reading. These people, the 10 cups exist above their heads, and they're standing in the real world. So they still have issues, but they're choosing to focus on happiness, right? And, I think that's really a big theme of this reading, is that choosing happiness is going to make your life a lot better, right? So that's what I would do here. Even if you're with a person who's being miserable, right? We are in control of our own feelings. So you can let a person be miserable and they can change it. I've seen it. I've seen people do it where it's like they have a miserable wife or a miserable husband and they just start being happy. And guess what happens? It's contagious. Then the other person changes and becomes happy, right? So again, you have the power to turn it around if you are in a situation like that. And I would definitely do it. I would do this in your life just for yourself in general, right? I would just be happy. I would do more things this month that make you happy, even if you're not happy, right? Like, I get it. Sometimes we are miserable. I was stuck there for 4.5 years of my life. But you know what fixed it is I chose to start being happy. That's it. And it's free. Didn't cost any money at all. With the Page of Wands, you have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is self-imposed restriction. I did feel this for the other two water signs. Like, unleash the beast, Scorpio. I think really it's time for water signs to, like, shine their light super bright. And, don't be afraid to scream. Don't be afraid to show people your skills. Don't be afraid to, show people how great you are. There's a saying, if you got it, flaunt it, right? And so it's not arrogant or, cocky or anything like that if you have the skills to back it up. and if you have the goods to back it up. And guess what? Even if you do, there are going to be people that call you out. That's what losers do, right? Whenever you're successful, there's always little shitbirds flying around, pecking at you. So your job is to ignore it, plain and simple. But don't hold back, is what that's saying to me. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Moon. The Moon can be confusion. Now, we do have the Eight of Cups, Seven of Cups, which can also be confusion, Seven of Swords. Eight of Cups is walking into darkness. He doesn't know if he's going to find fulfillment or not with the Eight of Cups. He's not sure. The Moon is part of the Fool's journey. And he just, really the only answer for the Fool is that he has to keep moving forward. He can't give up on his journey, or he can't give up on what he's doing. He has to keep progressing. And so I feel for a lot of you, the Moon is kind of like saying you need to keep pushing forward towards whatever it is that you're working on here. And if you do that, you will be successful. And one thing that's great about the reading is we have the Sun. I do not like readings that go from the Sun to the Moon, but I do like readings that go from the Moon to the Sun, because it says that you're entering into a Sun period. You are entering into a period of clarity. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have the Scarab Spirit. It says, what appears unusable may still have great value if you look deeper. You have a Spirit World. It says your spirit guides are sending you helpful people and opportunities your way. Yes. All three water signs had very similar messages about spirit really kind of guiding them at this time. And so I would trust those, your intuition, your synchronicities, all those things that are happening. Also, Pisces had a message about you making something. I can't remember exactly what I said to them, but they had something similar to this, like getting more out of the work that you're doing. I think that all water signs should focus on that. Like if you're doing certain work, there are ways to get more work out of it. And without knowing what you do, I can't tell you what to do. But, I would look at your work and say, like, how can I get more out of this? How can I get something better? Or, how can I squeeze more juice out of my job or my career, right? And again, you're going to have to do some research, but I would do it. Next, you have the Five of Cups. Again, Five of Cups and the good stuff would say that you are being grateful for what you have. When we are grateful with the Five of Cups, we get this bridge and this castle here. So I feel that there could be like an opportunity, or there could be, good opportunities coming in for you at this time with these two cards. And, I feel it's coming from gratitude, and that's exactly what I would be practicing here with this reading. You have the Sun. The Sun is shining on you, Scorpio. Number one, I feel you are gaining clarity on like the direction of your life. But the Sun is the best card in the tarot, makes the whole entire reading more positive, and I feel that you are being guided towards the Sun. The reason I say that is because you have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands has this sunflower. The sunflower points towards the Sun. So the whole point of the Queen of Wands is that she follows her desire. She follows her, her feelings, what feels good, and all that other good stuff. And by doing that, she is able to find more success. So I would follow the Sun. Follow things that bring you joy, happiness, love, peace. Move in those directions. That will probably be the best thing for you with the Queen of Wands. But let's see here. With the Five of Cups, you have the Six of Cups. You have the Six of Cups twice. The Six of Cups can be the past. I'm pretty sure I said in your last reading, or the mid-monthly reading maybe, for March, I was saying something about you revisiting like an old idea or an old thing that you used to do, and you could be doing it again now. So it wouldn't surprise me if you were like rebirthing a project or an idea. And if you are doing that, I think it would be really good for you, but also more childlike energy. Again, I think being very playful this month would be very good for you. With the Sun, you have the Six of Pentacles. 2 sixes. If you've been watching me for a while, I love 2 sixes. 2 sixes is like confirmation for your path. It basically says that you're going in the right direction, you're doing the right things that you need to be doing at this time, and that could be leading to success. So I feel a lot of you could be, just like confirmation for your path. With the Queen of Wands, you have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, more it's obviously being more spontaneous, just, being willing to kind of like go with the flow. That type of energy is going to be your best friend this month. The Knight of Wands, again, he's very similar to the Page of Wands in some ways. The Page of Wands, like, doesn't have a good reason for the journey that he's going on. He just wants to do it. He doesn't even know what the outcome is. Knight of Wands is very similar. He is like the true builder in the tarot. If he doesn't have something, he's going to have to build it as he goes on the journey. So, it's kind of just about being willing to go see where the wind blows you this month. You have this 4-leaf clover. It says great good fortune on it. Love it. Definitely could be a very good month. And definitely could be great good fortune. You have this younger woman card. It says dealings or relationships with a younger woman. You have this bouquet. It says compliments from an admirer. Some of you definitely could have like an admirer. You could be the younger woman, or you could be a younger person, just in general, whatever gender. I kind of feel like it's talking about you. And again, I'm reading for 1 million of you, so I feel like that younger woman card is just saying Scorpio, the person I'm reading for, has an admirer. So if you want love, there you go. You have this kangaroo. It says unsettled times, need to plan ahead. Yes, we're in a time of chaos between now and 2033. I always tell people, like, worrying about it, crapping your pants about it is not going to do anything. And by chaos, I just mean chaotic energy. It doesn't have to be a bad thing, although, I don't know. I think we're going to see some weird stuff go down over the next few years, of course. And aliens, robots, all, whatever. I don't know. Who cares, right? We're all stuck here. We're not getting out of here alive, so I'm not going to worry about it. And that's basically what this card says. You know what? It's like if the robots wipe us out, it's been fun. I've loved reading for all of you, right? But there you go. RIP, right? You have this rat card. It says someone working against you or behind your back. I would be careful of feeling like this. We're still in the Mars retrograde shadow until the beginning of May, like May 3rd or 2nd. And so Mars retrograde can make us feel like people are doing things behind our backs, but it might not be. It might not be true. So I would be careful of thinking that. You have this vase card. It says secret admirer. Yes, definitely. I kind of feel like some of you are the secret admirer, but also it could be the other way around. But definitely could be love for those of you that want it. But yeah, looks really good here, Scorpio. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.